Hello and a very warm welcome. This is the news on NTR International. My name is Justin Bemuyi and here are the major stories. Appeal Court dismisses case alleging false declaration in President Buhari's form submitted to INEC to contest 2019 presidential election. President Buhari dines with National Assembly leadership, confirms to be under pressure to constitute new executive council. United Nations development program on the German government partners federal government in resolving farmers and herders conflict. And Sudan's ruling military council arrests 16 officers in a foil as Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo wants Africa to change relationship with Europe to become self-reliant. Well, thank you very much for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari has confirmed to be under tremendous pressure to constitute the new Executive Council of the Federation. Hosting the leadership of the National Assembly to a special dinner, the president, however, says that notwithstanding, he will not be rushed into appointing people that cannot deliver. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
Without doubt, one of the most talked about issues in Nigeria today is the awaited reconstitution of the Federal Executive Council. Nigerians are indeed eager to know those to be appointed as ministers and how soon. This special dinner with presiding and principal officers of both chambers of the National Assembly provided the opportunity for President Muhammadu Buhari to put the record straight.
I'm very much aware about it. I'm under tremendous pressure on it. But the last cabinet, which I had, most of them, the majority of them, I didn't know them. I had to accept the names and recommendations from the party and the other individuals. Now this time around, I'm going to be quite mean. Mean in the sense that I will pick people I personally know. Please, Senate President, bear with me. I'm on my last lap.
President Buhari described as pleasing the voting pattern of the National Assembly leadership, which he said not only showed maturity and patriotism, but also signaled to Nigerians that love for the nation supersedes party affiliations.
And it makes a lot of sense to cultivate good neighborhood, whether on individual or national level. I assure you, if Nigeria hasn't cultivated its neighborhood, the damage by Boko Haram would have been much worse than it is.
The president, who made a case for sustained collaboration and cooperation with the legislature for effective service delivery and good governance, however, urged the lawmakers to stop comparing Nigeria's democracy with that of the more developed countries in their debates, saying every country has its peculiarities and varied experiences. Senate President Ahmed Lawan and Speaker Femi Bajabiamila assured the president that they are set to work with him seamlessly towards addressing genuine public concerns and bequeathing worthy legacies for posterity.
All that is before us will be Nigeria and Nigerians. Therefore, it's something that we are committed to. And Mr. President has also assured us that he's ready to work with us, just like we are ready to work with him. So Nigerians should expect a relationship that will be cordial, a relationship that will be productive, a relationship that will provide opportunities for Nigerians to actualize their dreams.
Some of the lawmakers at the event described the engagement with the president as encouraging and reassuring.
For this to happen, we equally assured him that we are going to work with him. We are going to take the interests of this country far and over above any other interest we will have. And certainly it pleases both sides.
This country is bigger than any single individual, and that we will put all our hands on deck to ensure that we deliver on the dividend of democracy. The welfare of Nigerians does not know party, and as such we are going to look at issues based on bipartisan relationship.
This is like the beginning of a new dawn. And I think we are taking away, if nothing, at least the commitment of Mr. President to work with the National Assembly as an institution to deliver onto the promises we made during our campaigns. We will always be with him. we will always identify by the policies and programs of his administration so that Nigerians could see things being done differently.
The 9th National Assembly was inaugurated on the 11th of June this year. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And still coming from the National Assembly, Senate Chief Whip Senator Oji Uzo Kalu says Nigerians will be satisfied with the caliber of persons President Muhammadu Buhari will appoint as ministers. He was speaking during a meeting with National Assembly correspondents, during which he explained that the president is painstakingly scrutinizing all political appointees that will work in his second term.
I'm sure that list will be ready soon, very, very soon, sooner than you think. But Mr. President said that he's making a wider consultation. Now that he's making a background check on every one of them to make sure that his people he can work with.
We've also assured the Southeast that President Muhammadu Buhari is already addressing the challenges in the region. In the meantime, Speaker House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila has urged the British government to assist Nigeria in repatriation of stolen funds stashed in the country by some Nigerians. The Speaker made the appeal while receiving the new British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Katrina Liang. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports that Deputy Speaker Idris Wase also received delegation of Plateau State Assembly members.
Appreciating the mutual relationship and bilateral ties between Nigeria and the British government, especially in the areas of economic development, strengthening of democratic processes, northeast rehabilitation, and welfare for the internally displaced persons, the Speaker requested more assistance in the country's anti-corruption fight. The British High Commissioner Katrina Liang is looking forward to more collaboration in parliamentary matters and to ease the process of acquiring travelling documents to the UK. Meanwhile, Deputy Speaker Idris Wase has called for more unity amongst Nigerians to overcome various challenges being faced by the country. He was addressing some Plateau State lawmakers who paid him courtesy visit.
We need one another. Yes. We need to come together closely to be able to tackle the menace that's bedeviling the entire country, be it insecurity, on the issue of poverty, which is everywhere. It doesn't have face, it doesn't have tribe, it doesn't have religion. So you are welcome always, and I look forward to a better partnership, and all of us here.
We will always come here to seek your advice, to always work with you as one of the stakeholders from the state, to seek for your contributions and other things that will bring development to our dear states.
Both parties agreed to work together, especially on issues affecting the less privileged. From the National Assembly, Kenneth Nanim, NTA.
And now from the Judiciary, we have a report that the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has dismissed the suit challenging the eligibility of President Muhammadu Buhari to contest the 2019 presidential elections. In a unanimous judgment, the three-man panel of justices affirmed that the appeal lacked in merit. And Delia Tumbi reports.
Of Kalu, Labaran Ismail and Ezi El Karus had approached the Federal High Court in Abuja in November 2018, challenging the educational qualification of President Muhammadu Buhari before the conduct of the 2019 presidential election. The plaintiffs alleged that President Buhari, as the candidate of the APC, did not attach the required certificates with his Form CF001 submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission. Since it is a pre-election matter, the plaintiffs had 14 days to institute their case in line with Section 285, subsection 9 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. This is to vest the court with the jurisdiction to entertain the matter. The trial court in its judgment dismissed the case for lack of jurisdiction, having instituted the matter out of time. This judgment was why the plaintiff appellant approached the appeal court. The appellant prayed the appeal court to set aside the verdict of the trial court. The three-man panel of justices led by Justice Atinuka Komolafe-Wilson agreed with the trial court that the course of action was instituted out of time and thereby statute bar. Citing the decisions in Akeredolu versus Abraham and Chiku Jeku and Olalere, Justice Mohammed Idris, who read the unanimous judgment, said since the course of action was instituted out of time, this action denied the court the jurisdiction to entertain the matter. The appellate court thereby dismissed the matter.
The victory is not for the president alone. The victory is for the whole nation. So we have to all celebrate it all.
So I'll confer with my clients who instructed me, and based on their instructions, we shall surely react. I can only say that looking at their faces, they are not happy, and I know they want to explore the law on appeal.
Form CF001 contains the resume of a contestant. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Dele Atumbi again reports that the presidential election petition court has continued hearing on the petition of the People's Democratic Party and its candidate Atiku Abubakar. This Friday, the petitioners called additional witnesses to prove their case.
8 additional witnesses were called at the Friday's hearing of the matter where the PDP and its candidate are challenging the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari in the February 23 presidential election. The witnesses in their oral evidence were alleging vote buying, illegal thumb-printing of ballot papers, cancellation of results and transmission of results to INEC server during the presidential election. Chris Uche, SAN, led the PDP witnesses in evidence. During cross-examination, counsel to President Muhammadu Buhari, Alex Izion, SAN, Latif Agbemi, SAN of APC, and Usman Ustaz, SAN, counsel to INEC, put it across to one of the witnesses who claimed to have signed Form EC-8C under duress, but did not include this claim in his statement on oath, which he had earlier adopted as his evidence in chief. One of the witnesses who claimed he received all Form EC-8Bs as the local government party agent contradicted himself in his oral evidence by claiming there was no election in 4 wards, thereby telling the court he received 9 Form EC-8Bs. Out of all the 8 witnesses, only one of them claimed he did not vote during the election, as the others told the court that they were properly accredited and voted in the election. One of the witnesses who claimed to have served as INEC's Assistant Presiding Officer 1 told the court that he transmitted result of his polling unit to the INEC server. When confronted with the INEC manual used for his training by the counsel to the respondent, the court was made to understand that the transmission of result fell outside the schedule of Assistant Presiding Officer 1 and resides in the schedule of the presiding officer. With the 8 witnesses called this Friday, the petitioners have so far called 36 witnesses. Counsel to the petitioners, Livy Uzoku, SAN, informed the court that their witnesses from Safara State were allegedly attacked on their way to Abuja. This made the 5-man presidential election petition court, led by Justice Mohammed Garba, to adjourn till Monday 15th July 2019 for further hearing on this petition. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Let's now move away from judicial matters to agriculture, where the United Nations Development Programme and the German government are working with the federal government in resolving farmers and herders' conflict. And this is obvious as the two bodies engaged farmers group towards improving their capacity on conflict management and resolution techniques. And Musa Babaliu completes the story.
These are representatives of farmers group from 8 states that are prone to conflict. They are in Abuja for capacity building on conflict management towards finding the way out of the crisis that is becoming a threat not only to food security but also to the unity of the country. The farmers decried how some group of people, including bandits, are hiding under the farmers-herders conflict to commit crime.
And we have enjoined the herders to fish out of themselves those who cause problems. Let us be able to negotiate on that basis.
Andrew Kwasari represents the office of the Vice President at the meeting. He says farmers will benefit more under the National Livestock Transformation Program.
What we are training them to do is to build their capacity in order to implement a program that we co-design together with them.
They also signify their interest in adapting those more modern approaches if government and the private sector will back them.
Similar training has been organized for cattle breeders where they pledged to embrace peace and work for the socio-economic development of the country. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Now this is the news on NTA International reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria. The news continues in just a moment after the break. Don't go away. Welcome back. We now go to Kaduna, where the first Nigerian Army aviation hangar has been inaugurated in Jaji Cantonment to support its drive towards its aviation wing. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa covered the event performed by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai.
Air assets are a critical component of a modern warfare due to its effectiveness in intelligence surveillance reconnaissance, ISR, firepower and speed in deployment of troops during ground operations. This aircraft hangar, runway and 10 trained pilots part of efforts to develop the Nigerian Army aviation.
Nigerian Army aviation has been captured in the Nigerian Army Order of Battle 2016. We are yet to have the platforms, but we will continue to pursue through the appropriate superior authority for us to see to the realization of this dream.
Similarly, a light aircraft base and a runway is to be constructed in Bama, Borno State to support the ongoing counter-insurgency operations in the northeast.
The contract has been awarded already. The funding already received.
This development is expected to support the Nigerian Army's desire to effectively fight on sea, air, in addition to its infantry operations across the country. From Jaji Cantonment in Kaduna, Ismail Musa.
The National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, is to support the Nasarawa State University to establish a faculty of engineering to boost contribution to scientific and engineering development of the country. And this is coming on the heels of the signing of a memorandum of understanding between NASENI and the management of the university in Abuja.
Nasarawa State University, established about 20 years ago, now has 8 faculties, but not that of engineering, to run science and engineering programs. The institution is seeking collaboration with the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, for assistance in identified areas for the faculty and its operation. This collaboration also covers design and development of equipment with a renewable energy system, as well as plans to tap from technology transfer.
There is no way we can establish engineering that is unique, an engineering that is the best in Nigeria, an engineering that is world class, without collaborating and seeking support of NASENI.
For the executive chairman of NASENI, the MOU signing will boost need-oriented and market-driven researches in the country. He, however, advised the National Universities Commission not to register new universities with focus outside science engineering programs. The agency has so far reached out to a foreign firm who has formally agreed to support the university with equipment in key engineering fields.
They are supporting Nasarawa State University to take off equipment in the field of electrical engineering, equipment in the area of cognitive manufacturing, equipment in the area of additive manufacturing, equipment to do with virtual manufacturing, rapidly responsive manufacturing, as well as general areas of what is called future-oriented manufacturing.
Naseni has given the university full access to its facilities and equipment across the nation for the trainings which will commence in the next session.
President Muhammadu Buhari has sent felicitations to Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka on his 85th birthday, rejoicing with the literary icon for being one of the country's greatest prides and a universal brand. President Buhari joins family and friends of the cerebral academic in celebrating the many years of laudable achievements, recognitions, awards and consistency, all which have accumulated in pride to Nigerians, Africans and the black race. The president salutes Professor Soyinka for his intellectual momentum, interventions on state issues and polity through articles and comments, penchant for justice and persistence in holding leaders to account. Federal government and Japan signs agreement to boost trade. Olayinka Ojo is standing by with news from the financial sector.
Welcome to Business News. As Nigeria continues to expand trade, raise revenues and diversify the economy, the federal government, through the Ministry of Budget and National Planning and Afri-Japan and Afri-Asia International Cooperation have signed an agreement for the establishment of the African Afri-Asia Development Agency in Nigeria to further strengthen trade and bilateral relationship between Nigeria and Japan, as well as other Asian countries. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has advised motorists and other petroleum product consumers to disregard rumors of a planned hike in the pump price of petrol, saying the statement of the group managing director, Mele Kyari, at the National Assembly did not suggest any plan to increase the price of the products. NNPC Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs, Undu Ngamadu, clarified that the NNPC GMD was speaking during an engagement with the Senate President, Senator Ahmed Lawan, where he stated that the price of fuel was low in Nigeria compared to what is obtainable in neighboring African countries. Let's now see how the equities market fared this Friday. I am Olayinka Ojo.
And Sudan's ruling military council says a coup attempt has been foiled. Details of these and other stories making their rounds across the globe is next.
Sudan's ruling military council, TMC, says it has foiled an attempted military coup and at least 16 officers have been arrested. The development late on Thursday came as the TMC and protest movement leaders seeking a transition to democracy were in discussions over a power-sharing deal. In another news, Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo says Africa must change its relationship with Europe if it wants to become self-reliant and exploit rich resources that could transform the continent. Nana Akufo-Addo said on Thursday following talks with his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron that Africa and Europe are natural partners, but it is a relationship that has to be different from what the two continents had up to now. In the meantime, we also have reports that the first shipment of a Russian missile defense system has arrived in Turkey, moving the country closer to possible U.S. sanctions and a new standoff with Washington. Defense Minister Hulusi Akar said 3 planes carrying the equipment landed at the airfield on Friday, adding that the delivery would continue in the coming days.
And on sports, Super Falcons improve on world ranking, and in Abuja, basketball stakeholders are meeting. Details from Ayodiji Mark Indian Sports Update.